for joining us today for this 15-minute franchisee interview. I'm introducing yourself, please, to our viewers.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jobin Mathai.
Hey, thank you for that. All right, so let's start with you telling our audience how long you've been a franchise owner, where you are franchising, and how many territories you have.
All right, thank you. So we signed the dotted lines back in February. We are open for business in August. So it's been about 4 or 5 months now. We're located out of Dallas, Texas, and we have 2 territories.
Okay, yep, and I looked, and we are almost at the 1-year anniversary of you signing your franchise agreement, so happy anniversary.
Thank you, almost there.
Yes, almost there. So relatively new franchisee. I'm very excited to visit with you, and I'm sure this is going to be very beneficial to the people watching this as well. So why don't we start with what your background was before you became a ride-at-home franchise owner?
Thank you. So, I come from a restaurant industry with one of the biggest franchises I would say that's out there. It's McDonald's, McDonald's restaurants. That was my first job. So actually I was with them for over 20 years, just working on both sides, the corporate and franchise side as well. From there, did a little gig with Smoothie King. I was the director of operations there and also the director of training and development as well. So that's so most of my experience, what I would say, has been in the service, in the restaurant industry.
Okay, so there are several options to choose from when it comes to business ownership, either starting on your own, joining a franchise system, senior care, QSR, I mean, you name it, lots of options. So why did you ultimately end up choosing ride-at-home?
So, very, very good question there. And I think that's something I spent a lot of time just kind of thinking about as well as what are my options here. And really coming back from a franchise business that does this very well. So I knew for a fact that whatever I do, I'm going to be part of the franchise just because I understood the support system that comes with it, along with the franchisor and the franchisee as well, where there is the teamwork. So I knew, so that was checked off for me that I'm going to be part of a franchisee. And as I shared, a great deal of my time has been in the restaurant industry. So it was that moment like, okay, I gotta kind of go out and do something else, do something different. And as I was going through my option, I did look into restaurant industries as well, QSR, different options. So, there were a couple of things that was important to me. But a few things as had my checklist of things that I wanted to do. I wanted to do something with my wife, being my partner, right? So was that something we could have in common and kind of see each other at the office and still work together, right? And we're not getting at each other, right? So that was that.
Yeah.
So we can kind of continue to build our family together. Something where I'm able to, financially grow our future as well for us kids, whatever the motivation looks like there. And then give back. There was something I wanted to make sure I'm able to serve, where you get that satisfaction as well, where hey, we're doing well, but at the same time we are able to give back to the community, really make a difference. And also the internal team, right? So which are our caregivers and office staff, whoever it might be, right? How are we making an impact in their life as well? Yeah. So as I went through those things, I looked at different options. Service is what we're all about here, right at home. Yeah. And as I looked into it, had several conversations with my wife, and right at home was the best choice, clearly. And here I am today.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, I believe it's been about 5 months ago is when you got your first ride-at-home client. So let's talk about right when your office opened, right when you got your first client. Granted, that was 5 months ago, but can you describe a little bit about what your life was like then when you first opened and where you are now, and maybe how some things have changed, maybe some things that you learned upon, a newly opened business, any type of insight that you can provide to people watching this from when you first opened, and it's been, 5 months, but how have things changed for you over the course of the past 5 months?
So, I would say, my RightStart Coach, they've been very, very, very supportive from day one. So, it is very important that you stay on track, and I make sure that as we had those timelines and deadlines and things like that, never miss them, right? I never miss them because that helped us stay on track. So as we went through a final class in July, came back from the graduation, and from there we get into the hiring and things like that. But all those things that you need to do for pre-open has been built upon. So as we get through all of those tasks being completed, from hiring, training, posting the job, getting out to the marketing piece, getting the office ready, getting the technology piece ready, all of those things are there for you to follow. So we kind of got through all of that, got ready, got ready and opened up in July. But one of the advice while we were at Right at Home office that was pretty evident was, if work on the business, don't work in the business, right? So, it was continually about how do I build a team? How do I get a business up and running where I get a chance to work on and have a team that works in. So definitely, I went in. I had an office staff right from the start. I brought in a director of operation for us. I had an office manager as well, because those things were important. Because as they were focusing on the detail portion, which we followed, right at home, was very helpful. While they focused on the detail portion of things that we needed to do, hiring, training, and things like that, it gave me an opportunity to kind of work on the business, right? So I'm out in the community, meeting people, meeting with different franchisee, creating best bets, working on our procedures, our policy, what are things that we're going to be known for. So so at first it was just like, hey, let's get this baby up and running. Let's build a team, get the caregivers in, let's work on our culture, our foundations, and things like that. Now that we have kind of evolved, it's into how do we make sure we continue to grow? We continue to grow, we continue to learn. There are mishaps, there are things that, you got to call off, so how fast can we react to it? How many people we have how many caregivers we have in the team? What are we doing to kind of get additional prospects? How are we going to, what events are coming up in different community center that we could be part of, right? What is going on in a community locally that we could be part of and help sponsor and things like that. So now a great deal of time is definitely spent working on the team, working on the caregivers, working on the training. I mean, pulse training is awesome. So now we, working with the HR team. So we are looking at, for the entire year, each month, what is one topic that we're going to focus on, and then of course put some incentive behind it. Now we're at a place where we can look into caregiver of the month, right? Here's the criteria. We have plenty of caregivers in the team now. What can we do to kind of reward and give back to our team as well? And of course, a great deal of time is, we're still in growing stage, right? We still have a lot of growth we have to do. So still getting out there in the community and meeting with social workers, it might be case managers, different rehabs, and also franchisees, meeting with them as well on a regular basis, picking their brains if I run into something. Hey, this is what I'm thinking about. What are your thoughts? And they all been so fantastic about helping out. And also there's a book club with Right at Home franchise that I'm a part of, that we get together once a month, go back and read through it and be like, okay, how does that feel? And it's awesome because some of the franchise been in the system 20 years, and somebody like me that's been there for 6 months, as an example, or a couple of years. So we're able to share our stories, and when things do happen, they encourage me along, be like, hey, it's part of the growth, right? Here's some of the things that you can do. here's some of the things that they have done that help them kind of overcome those barriers.
Okay, awesome. So of everything that you just mentioned, if you could just choose, with your tenure being 5 or 6 months into this business, if you could choose, what would you say is the most helpful support that you get from the franchisor? If you could name just one, what have you found to be the most helpful?
I mean, my OnStar coach, my coach has been very, very from the day I signed till today, right? Like just being there for me over the weekend, Sunday, Monday, doesn't matter, all along. And then this checklist, and also being so resourceful in regards to like, okay, I know somebody that can help you with this, right? So I would say, not wasting my time creating and digging for things. They're able to connect me and help me out. So that's been the biggest, I would say it had made the biggest impact for us.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So looking back, when you first joined Right at Home and where you are now, if you can give one piece of advice to somebody watching this right now, what would that advice be?
I would say research the market as good as you can. Look up every single zip code and I mean all the rehabs, hospitals, everything that's going on in the community. Also research about the competition, right? What they have going on, what are they known for? Because there's a lot of good things that goes on out there as well. So you can pick from them. And then also when you research, you're gonna see what's the common theme, what's working great, and where the opportunity is. So what I would share is go after the opportunity, because that's when you go in to have a conversation about what keeps you up at night, and you being able to understand like, hey, these are the opportunities and I can help you close the gap here. This is how I can support you with my team. Here's a plan, right? And those are music to some beautiful years out there, so it definitely makes a difference. So I would say just research a lot. Also, if I may, just talk to other franchisees and ask the questions. Any concerns, I know everybody is available anytime they need. So just doing a couple of those things would be awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. This interview was awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me today.
Thank you, Jen. Have a great day.
All right. You as well. Thank you.